Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to Session 4 of The Angel You Know, a very special Halo and Horns mini-series. I'm one of your two devilish/angelic GMs for today. My name is Connie. My pronouns are they, he, and she. You can find me on Twitter and TikTok at @byConnieChong. When I'm not here being a co-GM with Brandy over here, I am the GM and creative producer for Transplanar RPG, which is the channel that you're watching this on. Hi! Transplanar, if you don't know, is an all-transgender, BIMPOC-led, 100% homebrew, Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition live-streamed actual play campaign set in Andake, an original non-colonial, anti-orientalist, grim, dark, gritty fantasy world. If you like dark fantasy led by tons of queer and trans disasters, you'll love Transplanar. Tune in Saturdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern for the full Transplanar experience, or if you prefer to consume things in audio drama format, pod us wherever you pod your casts. Give us a listen. Just search Transplanar RPG in Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you pod your casts, and give us a listen. I'm going to pass along introductions over to my esteemed co-GM, Brandy.
Hi everybody, I am Brandy, aka at the Brandy Rose on Twitter, and I am a GM, TTRPG performer, game designer, and most of all, talk show host and podcast producer. Make sure to put in Brandy Rose wherever you get your podcasts, and you will get a bunch of my shows all under my podcast network, Patoot Podcasts. You'll recognize our shows by the little pink raccoon, which is actually just the physical embodiment of what I look like when I take the human suit off. Noir, our beloved mortal. Tell everybody about yourself. Also, sorry, my pronouns are they, them. Good God.
Hello, everybody. I'm Noir. My pronouns are he, they. I am very excited to be a mortal influenced by these two wonderful GMs today. You can normally catch me every Saturday morning hosting Morning Ritual, a show I do with my partner where we interview just about everybody from the TTRPG space. I'm also the producer for Rivals of Waterdeep. I'm also a game designer, and around this time, I should be able to talk about it, but just in case I can't, I'll be working with the Paladin, on HTT Paladin on a project. Super duper excited about it. And if I can't talk about it, I'll probably be in the chats going like, here are the deets. So that's me.
Fantastic. Yes, please, everyone, check out Brandy and Noir on all the social medias. Check out all their projects. Toss them money because you are about to be dazzled by this extremely, I think, chaotic, I'm calling it now, Halo and Horns session right here, right now, beginning with, actually, Noir. Would you like to paint us a little word picture? Just spiel us in. Tell us about your mortal, where we're finding them, and what time period we're in. I'm going to pass the baton over to you, Noir, to start our session.
All right. So we are starting in the studio apartment of one Adrian Norris, because I didn't think of a last name until right now. It is tiny. We are in 1800s America, the Wild West, as it were. Really, this tiny studio apartment just has enough room for his bed and his cat's bed. His cat's name is Hemlock. So he wakes up, gives Hemlock some scritches, some milk. He goes to make himself some breakfast, which is just like slop. Sitting at the kitchen table, which is it's a nightstand by the bed. He just looks at Hemlock and just goes, it's gonna be another day. It's gonna be a good day. We're gonna do everything right by the books, and the boss will have to see that I'm one of the best he's got. And the cat kind of looks at him with all the indifference that only a cat can give you. And then he gets himself dressed up in a white shirt, brown slacks, moderately nice boots, and just kind of walks the 2 blocks to his job, where he is not greeted. Nobody really there's no fanfare for him being here. It's just kind of expected, and he goes to his desk and he gets that same indifference that he gets from Hemlock from all of his co-workers, except it's less cute on humans.
I don't know. I find it to be one of my cutest features, but okay.
Well, we'll have to see about that, huh? Adrian, what do you look like before you head out of your studio apartment as you're dressing up in front of this dusty mirror?
Absolutely. So he is a short king. He is 5'7" because even playing a short king, I have to be taller than I actually am. He's got dreads that just kind of lay down to the shoulder, full salt and pepper beard, glasses. Really, just kind of looks like an every guy. He's not memorable.
Yeah, you creak open the wooden door, right, to your studio apartment, move past the dusty mirror, your cat sort of like licking her butt, right, as you move away from her. And you're not particularly handsome, you're not ugly, right? You're not particularly tall, you're not short. You're just kind of in the middle. And you stride down the hallway, right?
He's got strong NPC energy.
Strong NPC energy, but you are our protagonist for today, which is interesting. Go down the wooden stairs, right, of your studio apartment. I think you live above a saloon, right? Like the local saloon here in Sprouts, California, right? And it's already going, even though it's like 10 a.m. Like there's like patrons at the bar already, like drinking tall glasses of milk. They're just knocking back milk, like gurgling it. The bartender looks horrified, right? Like you go past, there's like it's absolutely rancid. There's someone at like the piano bar, like doing da 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 da, play some sort of ragtime tune, right? We see like people in like dresses, right, and people in like suits, right, like cowboy spurs, dancing on like a little stage. As you open up the swinging doors of the saloon, a big gust of dust sort of comes up, right, like sort of like causes your dreads to sort of go a little akimbo by your shoulders, and you walk past like the stable, where you smell manure, like you hear the horses sort of lowing indifferently at you. There's a stable hand shoveling shit, who doesn't even look at you as they shovel shit into a bucket. They almost hit you with the shit shovel, because they don't even notice that you're there. And then you walk into your place of work, which is, of course, the Sprouts National. They like to say national, even though it's only local to Sprouts Bank.
It really just says Sprouts N. Bank, which technically they read as national, but actually legally it's just Sprouts N.
Yes.
Bank.
Yes, but any travelers will be like, that's a national bank, and they think it's a national bank, but it doesn't actually service anything outside of Sprouts, California. This tiny, let's say, 2-mile strip of dirt road that's been repurposed into a bustling township that the first transcontinental railroad has, I think, dumped some mild economic success into. Adrian Norris, we follow you through the double, creaky, swinging wooden doors of Sprouts N Bank into, I think, probably one of the nicest establishments in Sprouts. There's like a marble flooring, which is unusual. It's not wooden, it's marble. And there are some wooden pillars that hold like sort of like an arched roof together, with these kinds of wooden ribs, right, that like hold up the rafters. And what role do you have? Are you a teller? Are you management?
I'm an accountant, so I have clients that we maintain their account and their investments. We try to make sure that we grow their wealth, that sort of thing.
Oh my god, I almost fell asleep during your sentence there, Adrian. I'm just gonna say you work behind the tellers. So even to try to explain your job to one of the GMs, let's say you sit behind the tellers, right, and you do your ledgers and stuff.
That's about how it goes.
Oh, Adrian, fantastic. Okay, yeah. You go behind like a little employee like slot, right, and you like start sitting down at like your desk with all the other accountants, who I think, even though all of them are also very average looking, they've got something going for them. One of them's married. One of them has a really nice dog. One of them is like kind of pretty. You're just you have a cat. You're not married. You're just there, right? And he starts to open. Yep, you're mid. Everything about you is mid. You're mid. You
We should have moved to the Midwest.
Well, maybe you meant to. You just got lost because your navigational skills are also mid. So you did end up in the West, just like the wild, not Midwest. But you just were like, well, I've come all this way. I'll just
bringing the mid to the West.
We're in Sprouts, California, Minnesota. Sprouts, California, Minnesota. So you sit down, Adrian, you open up your ledger, you start doing your morning routine. Mm-hmm. And while you sort of fade into the gray hustle and bustle behind the tellers, people start coming in, like banks start, like the ding, 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 ding of like the doors and like various bells and whatnot. We pan across all of this to, I think, like a waiting bench, right? Like for people who are waiting for their orders to be fulfilled, to see a woman. She is sat there. The only reason no one looks at her is because of a shimmer, a glamour of magic that prevents anyone from looking at her. Because if she existed in this plane that Adrian is currently on, this plane of existence, all eyes would be on her because she is striking. Her face can only really be described as carved from bone and flesh and skin. Like, she doesn't look real. She looks like a painting of a woman, right? A painting of a heroic woman. These like strong marble-esque, statuesque features, like these jaws that could cut through right through like shark teeth, piercing eyes, stormy gray, like eagles just sort of scanning this area. She's got on, I think, a vest, like a very nice, rich oak brown vest, with like a dark crimson blood red tie, and these like white sleeves, very Wild Westy, that are tucked into these tall, like black trousers, and these cowboy boots. She's wearing cowboy boots, and she has a hat on that's tipped over, concealing her, I think, very handsome and masculine features. Though she does tip the brim of the cowboy hat up, and we see that what's revealed of her hair is that she doesn't have any. It's sort of shaved, right? And she's got these, like, I think, intricate, like, almost like moving golden tattoos, like, up over the base of her shaved neck. She's looking around. She's consulting, I think, a rolled up newspaper. She unfurls it, right, like sort of like ruffles it, and we see like a headline, right, in the very front page is El Caballo and the Wild Herd robs yet another town, right? And there's like a wanted poster, like right up front of like a masked looking man, right, like atop like a black steed, like surrounded by other like gunslinging bandits, right? But the masked man's eyes have been poked out. It looks like two people, maybe like someone like poked their fingers through the front of the page, and Artemisia, the angel of the hour, annoyedly sighs and looks through the holes to surreptitiously keep an eye on Adrian Norris as she waits for her companion to arrive.
Ooh, an upgrade. There's this, you can't see it, this is a different plane of existence, but suddenly you smell gunpowder. It's not enough to cause any alarm. You can usually smell gunpowder somewhere around this town at some point. Somebody tracked it in, somebody works with them, somebody shot someone. It's really not weird, but the smell is a little stronger, a little more tickly in the nose. It's just not irritating. It's just like, it's there. Almost like tiny little fingers just like past your nose. It's enough to make everybody briefly, okay, and then get rid of it when there is a puff of dramatic smoke on another plane of existence, purely for Artemisia's entertainment. Absolutely entertainment, quote unquote. Nobody else could see it. It is absolutely just for dramatics. And as Artemisia is sitting, as anybody who has watched the show up till now will know, that is an invitation. And instead of sitting, kind of side saddle like Melchior usually does, or just straight up sitting on Artemisia like Artemisia is a chair, Melchior appears facing Artemisia, sitting, just plops down. Artemisia will be just the chair as always, and Melchior's face pops up over and is pushing down the newspaper a little bit, and is just right on the lap and goes, "Hi there. Miss me."
Artemisia rolls her eyes, folds the top third of the newspaper down, because I think you appeared within her arms, right? Beyond the newspaper.
Hello.
Right, yeah. Artemisia just goes, "Riding full cowgirl this time, I see."
Oh, always. And Melchior, I don't know why I keep calling Melchior Artemisia. I think the name is just so pretty that my brain is pretty name, and I'm like, Melchior. Anyway, Melchior. Melchior typically takes the form of a very tall, Native American person. I say very tall, not nearly as tall as Artemisia. And has very long dark hair. This time it is open for once again, although much more tamed than the last time that we saw her. Pronouns her, they. In typical Melchior fashion, Melchior is kind of dressed for the time period, but something is off, and what's off is, yes, Melchior is in a bustier, puffy sleeved, corseted, just very brothely dress, but it's a costume from the 21st century
Is it from
for a
Spirit Halloween?
cowboy.
Did
from
they
Spirit
fucking get this?
Halloween.
from
They
Spirit
got this
Halloween?
at Spirit Halloween. They put the spirit in Spirit Halloween, and they had popped down, and it's just like you can tell that the fabric is just too shiny and also very red. The skirts, like the skirts, just like bunched up. There's no actual like structure under the skirts, but Melchior doesn't care. Melchior, in their mind, they've done their job. They kind of look like if they had to pop into existence, nobody would immediately freak out. Untrue. It had to be appropriate for the time period.
Artemisia reaches forward and like picks up like maybe like a little bit of leather strap. Is this plastic?
It's called pleather. Isn't it wonderful? They found a way to take something that was nice and chic and frankly relatively environmentally friendly and make it made of oil.
Ugh. She like drops the pleather in disgust. This is a mid-19th century fashion. You got this from some sort of retailer in North America in the 2020s, didn't you?
I did. It was very cheap. And by very cheap, I mean I had a 5-finger discount. You know I can't pay for anything.
When are you ever going to dress our time, devil?
Hey, when we were in the 70s, I looked the part. It's not my fault that we get dragged to, frankly, buttfuck nowhere for who is our target? I can't see him.
Sprouts, California, 1866, Adrian Norris. And with that, she lowers the newspaper and looks up, past the glass teller panes, over to where Adrian perhaps is consulting his leisure and doing his thing. I tire of this idle chatter, shall we?
You don't have to lie. I know you like it, but we have a job to do. And basically, instead of getting up and going to places, kind of secures themselves more. Arm around the thing, goes, giddy up, let's go.
Artemisia
punted into hell at some point.
Artemisia stands up, and for a half glorious second, you're hitched on, right?
Yep.
Like a koala bear, onto
Yep.
in front of Artemisia,
Clinging.
and then she disappears.
Angels are such. And then there's this outside, just horse hooves censoring the next 8 words out of Melchior's mouth. I don't have to, but I was like, you know what? Yep. And it's just the stampede is so much louder than Melchior, but Melchior is just falls knees, onto the floor and then disappears in a puff of gunpowder. Frankly, it's just sprinkled on the floor everywhere. Nobody should drop a cigarette. That would be real bad.
Jesus.
Just gunpowder
This place
trailing
is gonna
behind
blow
them.
up. Yeah.
And they pop up by the teller's window, but
Yes.
you can't see them because they're in a different plane of existence. They're just inspecting Adrian you, huh? Really?
I think at this point, Adrian, one of your coworkers, very nice older woman called Nancy, looks up. She's reading the same paper that Artemisia was reading, except there's no holes poked through the front. Adrian, look, El Caballo has struck again. Who's gonna stop that man's reign of terror?
Hopefully the sheriff, man.
Sheriff. Our sheriff couldn't hit a barrel full of fish if it was right in front of him. Someone should make that a saying.
Yes, ma'am. I hope if the sheriff is in fact unable to hit a barrel of fish, that at least he'll work on, I don't know, perhaps recruiting somebody that is more capable in the ways of fish shooting.
Oh, Adrian. Just, do you have to take 10 words to say 2?
The hell were the 2 words that would have worked there? Yes, ma'am?
Well, I don't try to say more words than are necessary. I suppose it's due to just wanting to be very thorough and making sure that you understand that I was listening to everything that you were saying as a sign of respect. That makes me perhaps indulge in the speaking. I can work on trying to cut that down a bit if that be to your preference, ma'am.
Melchior is in hell. Melchior is right behind you.
In hell. Nancy has zoned out. Just staring to the middle distance. But yeah, yes, of course, yeah. Whatever you said, I agree. Yes, the Cubs are probably going to go more seriously. What was that? Anyway, as I was saying, Adrian, what Sprouts really needs is a hero.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree, Nancy, and I think that's what I was attempting to allude to with my saying that the sheriff should probably go about his way of recruiting somebody that's far more capable of shooting the fish, as you were saying before.
Well, the sheriff's deputy is his nephew. Does that seem fair to you? Someone should come up with a word for when you favor your nephew over other people.
Yeah, that does seem bad. I would probably, if I were to make up a word for it, I would probably call it nephewtism or something.
Nephewtism.
Nephewtism. I think that would
good.
be. I think that's a pretty good one. You know, I think that the sheriff has made his fair share of mistakes, but everybody makes mistakes in life. Though his job is one of life or death, so he should be a little bit more cautious about who he employs. But I'm sure he will see the severity of the situation. I mean, it did hit the front page of the newspaper, so it should be said for the severity of the situation.
Well, I'm gonna get some lunch, accountants. Anyone want to come, Adrian? No, you're not.
Oh boy, Melchior is like both rubbing away what they think is a migraine, which has never happened to them before. They invented migraines. Pretty neat trick on the devil's side. Definitely corrupted a lot of souls through frustration. Getting one themselves, but also this is amazing. I'm taking like so many notes for how to torture people down under. But Melchior, just out of reprieve before their brain melts out of their ears, snaps their fingers and kind of like sends a few sparks the way of the pretty accountant, who is a younger pretty thing. They, them pronouns. This is Jax. Jax is dressed nicely, always very neat. It's nothing fancy, but everything that Jax was it's just nicer because Jax just looks nice. You know, Jax is hot. Just like dark, like curls. And Jax just stretches and goes, man, isn't that El Cabello fella aren't they are so, there's something about him that's just so attractive. There's something about someone who just says, fuck it, and goes for what they want and doesn't care about the rules. That's just hot. I mean, sure, it's kind of scary to get robbed, but I mean, it happens so much at this point. I'd get it if we just decided to, not stop him if he came through here. Might even try to see if I can get his telegraph number.
I mean, Jax, I confess I too have fantasized about, what life might be like on the other side of the law, but that's got to be a lonely, cold life. We're not knowing when, the cops will find you. I mean, it's just, you can see Adrian is not looking at you. But I also, in nothing but the most respect for you, Jackson. You might want to be careful about using such language in the workplace.
Oh, it's just you and me. It's fine. Old bag went to lunch. I'm sure it's fine. Might still be in ear distance. Jax does not care. And Jax is just yeah, but I don't think it looks that lonely. I mean, they've got that crew with them all the time, and kind of seems like a neat little family. I mean, it's not like we're much of a family here.
I mean, no, I'm pretty sure Nancy walked out in the middle of asking if I wanted to go to lunch with them. I was gonna say yeah, but they just left. But that's fine. It happens every day. But it's okay. Because people get distracted sometimes because life is real a lot. Is all. Yep, life is a real lot.
Life is, yeah. You know, I mean, if I, I guess I could eat here today. I don't know. I mean, it's just the two of us minding the bank now. I think everybody else gone to lunch, and we can all take lunch at the same time. I don't mind waiting around. Maybe we'll get lucky or something, and we'll see. Like, I don't know, a rich person. They always look so funny. They dress so weird, don't they?
They dress weird and fancy, and they have so many different smells, like every kind of flower. Yeah, so many. It's
speaking of rich people, the doors swing open, and in strides with like shiny little golden like little spurs, the sheriff. Who isn't a sheriff because he's actually good at leading, but because he inherited the job from his dad who bought Sprouts, California, right? Sheriff Dresden. Kind of like an older white dude with kind of like a patchy gray beard, you know what I mean? He's got like a brown cowboy hat that's sort of bedazzled before there was bedazzling, so it's real diamonds just on his hat that he just glued on. That he stitched on. He's got the, like the, what's called like the tassels, you know what I mean? He's like wearing a shirt with tassels. He looks like a real cowboy. There's like a 6-shooter on his hip, but he does not know how to use it. You know what I mean? And he has like a big old like hunting knife strapped to his leg, but he also does not know how to use it. Strides in, looks around, Sprouts and Bank, and sees that every single worker in here has cleared out for lunch because none of them want to listen to Adrian talk, except for Jax. So all the tellers are gone too while the two of you have been talking. And he goes, Jax, and what's your name? You're new here, huh? Never seen your face around here before?
I've worked here for the last 7 years, sir. I'm Adrian.
Adrian? Oh, right. Yeah, Adrian. Well, I gotta open up my account. Gotta make sure that darn pesky nephew of mine didn't make out with any of my savings before he skipped town. Shirked his duties as deputy sheriff. I'm looking for a new one. And he pulls up a seat and sits in front of a teller, like, counter.
Jax is like giving Adrian like the side eye of like, get a load of this dude. Okay. Jax is like the prototype of like all right, dude, Californian before they existed.
Sure. Which one of you two young people and not so young, maybe middle-age crisis, I don't know what's really happening with you there, Adrian. Your age is kind of implacable. Someone help open up my account, please.
Mid-30s, and I you know what, Jack, you've been so sweet to me today. I would love to do this in your stead. So you go.
Thanks,
you go
Adrian, and you get like a back pat.
Oh,
like a pat.
Yeah, you go on and enjoy your lunch. I'll take care of the sheriff here.
All right. I'll bring you maybe they only have 1 day old bread today if we get lucky, and I'll bring you some when I come back.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. I only got a potato for lunch today.
Melchior unseen is just like shuddering. And it's just like, the hell is the point? Why don't you use any spices? And Melchior sneezes, and suddenly every food in this town is spicy.
You're going to kill this town with that like flavor.
Good.
In the distance, we hear muffled Caucasian screaming as soon as you sneeze. What the? Whatever. Listen, you, Adrian, was it?
Yeah, Sheriff.
All right, my account number's 69696969.
All right. Let me just pull you up here. All right, and
on your ledger, you're opening up. I've never heard that colloquialism. Pull you up here while you're opening up your ledger.
Well, we're one of the things that we like to do in this bank is we like to come up with new sayings for things. Like if you find yourself unable to practice your firearm in a effective and efficient manner, one might say that you couldn't shoot fish in a bucket.
Bucket's kind of weird. How about a barrel?
Jax for the back. No, I think it was bucket.
All right. Well, that's an interesting colloquialism right there. Oh, yeah, you couldn't shoot fish in a bucket. There's a nice ring to that. That's funny. You're a funny man. What other funny sayings have you got tucked up your huge sleeves?
I would love to take credit for that, but that was actually created by my coworker Nancy, who's at lunch right now.
Oh, Nancy McCullins, huh?
Yes.
The widower's daughter. A poor thing. You know, she really, really doesn't like these gunslingers that are terrorizing towns out west because her father's wife, her late mother, was killed by one of them.
It was a tragic.
What we need, tragic.
Sure.
Yes, what we need, what all of America needs, what California needs, what Sprouts needs, is a real hero. You know, my nephew skipped town with that little girl thing of his, but he left this behind. And he pulls out his 6-shooter and lays it on the counter. You know, just between you and me, because I feel like no one really listens to what you say at all, so I think it's sort of just like talking out a confessional. I don't actually know how to use a gun, so I'm looking
That's
for
hurtful.
someone. he talks right over you. I'm looking for someone who might
about
know.
to die.
Looking for a new deputy sheriff, you know, a real hero. Represent Sprouts, protect this town, the fine people in it. Like that.
And Melchior sneezes, and the first off, safeties on guns hadn't maybe been perfected or invented, but the safety on the sheriff's gun is now permanently on, and you cannot turn it off. It is on. Basically, what they did is make it a toy gun. They're stupid. They won't know the difference. It's fine. The gun they put on the table, very real, but the sheriff's actual gun is not functional because Melchior is not about to get injured in this plane of existence today. And what also happens is there is a commotion at the general store across the street, run by said widow and no one else, because apparently if someone dies 80 years ago, you're still the widower of the town. So the widower runs the general shop, and there's just this massive commotion for no reason. There's also nothing is happening. It's just there's commotion. Sounds like there was an explosion. The widower is really confused. Mr. McCullens is just bamboozled as to why in this quiet little shop with nobody in it, suddenly it sounds like there is a bar fight with guns and tanks and smells like gunpowder.
What's
like
happening?
Gunpowder.
What? Well, you know what? Forget about my account. I should probably go check out what's happening back there. Why being the sheriff and everything.
So I'm assuming you want me to put this here gun in your safety deposit box until you find a proper deputy to put.
Correct.
Okay.
I'm waiting for someone to impress me. If anyone can impress me, then I will immediately sign them deputy sheriff. It comes with a nice house. It comes with your picking of horse. It comes with your own very branded revolver.
You're
nice
picking
clothes.
of what?
Horse.
Oh.
Picking of horse. Don't give me that look, Adrian. I said horse.
No,
Melchior is the reason that came out unclear.
Yes.
I wasn't figuring. I mean, okay, I'll put this in the box.
All right. Well, my safety deposit box way back in the back. I know it. The combination of it is 420. Thank you so much for your service.
I mean, thank you for your service. And take care of yourself. The commotion over at the general store sounds proper deadly. So make sure you don't get yourself hurt before you find a new deputy.
Proper deadly. Yeah, you're right. Because if I die, Sprouts is going to the fucking dogs. I don't have a grandson. No woman wants to marry me, or a man, or a person. He stands up and sort of muttering under his breath. He starts to head out. He tips his cowboy hat at you. He's just muttering, fish in a bucket. He leaves, right? And like the doors like swing, and it's just you in the bank for a hot minute.
While it's just me, he is gonna pull out the revolver and just go, freeze. I'm the law. Nobody move. And then he's gonna try to do the spin thing.
Is the safety on?
Well, you made it permanently on, Melchior.
No, I made the sheriff's permanently on.
So this one is, you know what? Nor, roll a d6 for me. Evens, it's on. Odds, it's off.
Roll the whole campaign.
I rolled a 5.
It's off. Safety is off.
So he's gonna spin it, completely fuck it up, and drops and shoots, and he ducks for cover.
As you duck, right, as you're doing this, I think your coworkers start coming back in. You know what I mean? And like the bang gets muffled with like the door banging open, right? So no one really notices that a bullet went off, but you're on the ground, right? You're terrified. As your coworkers start filtering in, you hear Nancy go, "What? Adrian, that's a new low even for you. What are you doing on the ground there?"
I am having a really interesting day, Nancy. Here, and he's gonna like get himself up, dust himself off, and grab the gun. The sheriff came by. He wants to put this in the safety deposit box, and I told him about your fish in a bucket, and he really liked it. I told him that it was you because I didn't want to take credit for it, but he really thinks that your colloquialisms are one that he finds that he fancies. You might want to, I don't know, potentially strike up a friendship.
Jax is just chuckling under their breath.
This 50 to 60-year-old woman with like kind of like tight, like white dusty curls, right? And this wrinkles on her face stares you dead in the eye and says, "You said fish in a bucket? Barrel. Adrian, bucket doesn't even make any sense. The fish can just flop right out the top. Barrel. Why do you have to mess everything up, Adrian?"
I'm gonna put this in the safety deposit box now. To lock up the gun.
Feeling like an immense fuck up, Adrian. Like all the other accountants just like shaking their heads, like some of them muttering like, "Bucket, that doesn't even make any sense. Yeah, the fish would just flop right out." You know,
You get a passing pat and condolences from Jax, as if they did not contribute to you fucking it up. Completely just like, it's fine, don't worry about it. Where's Artemisia? I'm curious.
Artemisia this entire time has been leaned up against like the back wall just watching, right? As she always does. She never lets, like she plays her cards so close to her chest, you wonder if they're glued to her sternum. And Adrian, you walk toward the back. You like go into, like you go past like some swinging doors, like in the back into this like tiny little hallway, where there's a wall just filled with safety deposit boxes, like little almost like little mailboxes, right? And you go to the one that's labeled for the sheriff, and I think you start like dialing in the number.
Yeah,
and as
420.
420. As you do, there's a bulletin board nearby, and one flyer, because it's bright green, catches your eye.
They have green paper.
Why not? Like the color of money, it's dyed. And on it is a guide for how to use a gun.
My lord.
And save the day is the subtitle. How to use a gun and save the day. And you see like a diagram of a drawn man that looks suspiciously like you. It has your proportions, right? Like this, uncork the safety, make sure the bullets are in, like point it, squeeze the trigger, don't pull, square off, like stuff like that. It's just like a list that even someone like you could just read and know how to use.
Well, I can look at a list. I would like start to examine it. And is it all right if I take one of the bulletins from off of the bulletin board?
You just hear like a "no one cares about you, Adrian" coming from. Maybe
you get a sure from Jax.
And maybe do something heroic and we'll care. Something heroic like no one could do to save my dead mother, and now my dad's the widower. That's my backstory.
Can
and
you
like Nancy's
imagine living in a town for 50 some odd at least years, maybe 80, and everybody calls you the widower because your wife died 60 years ago? You might even be remarried.
He never remarried because he loved my mother so much. If only we had a hero back then, instead of the stupid sheriff to save my mother's life, prevent the same tragedy from happening again. But I don't know what's come over me. I like Nancy
yelling this through the bag.
Nancy is yelling this, yes.
Nancy does this every day. It's like clockwork. You come back from lunch, you yell about your tragic backstory.
Exactly.
Every day for the past 7 years. He's gonna take that bulletin and like, yeah, I mean, I don't even have a gun to practice with though, and I'd probably just mess it up. But I mean, I don't think that I messed up the fish in the bucket thing. I mean, nobody says how much water is in the bucket. Nobody said how big the bucket was. I mean, it's still feasible. I mean, really, if anything, a bucket is just like a tiny barrel. Well, not even tiny. It's like a little smaller. It's a smaller barrel.
Is there a door, Adrian, towards the back of the bank?
Yes.
All right. The door opens just very casually, very gingerly. And this kind of you think he might be handsome, but he's wearing a black bandana over his nose, over his chin. So all you can see is this. Wow, these arthritis gloves are perfect. So all you see is, don't look at my nails. All you see is this of him, but his eyes are warm and glinting, but cunning. And you can sense like a bit of scruff creeping up his cheeks, and some shaggy, but like very rough cut hair peeking out of the dark hair and peeking out underneath the cowboy hat, which if you paid attention to the newspaper, this person might seem kind of familiar. Maybe it's hard to place because the face is covered, but there's a scar through the eye that not in Artemisia's newspaper, but in Nancy's was pretty visible. And a low voice just goes, "Howdy there."
Howdy, and welcome to First and Bank of Spring. Spring. And how can I help you today?
My friends are going to be making some withdrawals in about looks at a bare wrist, 5-10 minutes or so. I was just wondering if you would be so kind as to make sure everybody just stays pleasant. Sometimes we go into banks and people are just very rude, very mean. And I'm sensitive. And my crew is sensitive. And ugly words and all that, they make us very upset. I was just hoping for a nice guy like you to make sure everything goes nice and smooth. And who knows? Might even be something in it for you. You catch my drift?
I think I'm understanding. Are you sensitive about what's behind the it's bank policy not to have masks on when you come here. I can see about trying to work with the others if that's what you're alluding to, about the whole policy about masks and having you wait, are you you're gonna no.
You
boy.
get the mask like pulls down to prove a very handsome face, just like, I'm not worried about what's behind the mask.
You're.
But don't you worry about that. And then there's just like some shouts from the back, just to not like angry shouts, just like, John, you got everything you need back there. Like, yeah, don't worry about it, honey. Everything's good. And just like you get a gentle pat, and it's just like, you look like you have potential. You look kind of interesting. And you get a little, and El Caballo just walks back out.
He said I looked interesting. Ain't nobody ever said I was interested. I've been called every type of boring or invisible.
It is 5 minutes to high noon. Adrian.
I knew. Yes.
You're back there by the safety deposit box, mumbling to yourself about being interesting. And that's when Artemisia, who's seen this whole thing, leaned up against the wall, cocks a finger. And one of the safety deposit boxes pops open, like next to you. And out falls ammunition. Tins of bullets, perfect for your gun.
No. Why is the day like this? He's just picking up the bullets and trying to put them back in the safety deposit.
Melchior is giggling and is just like, Artemisia, you are distressing. And like this horrible, like drawn out, like southern tint that they're trying out, but they can't do.
Sure.
It's just like, you are distressing the poor man. Can't you see that?
Well, heroes are always forged in distress. Villains have it easy. They just take out their anger on everything around them. But heroes, well, they're forged in fire.
Something like, interesting. If you looked at our history, I don't think you fall under the hero category. Huh.
That's a dangerous accusation to be throwing around to an angel.
Aw, baby, you don't scare me. And like you get like a little finger to the lips real quick of like, Remember? And then
Mel's
gonna just turn slightly away.
Artemisia turns to you, right? Like her like slate gray eyes trained on you, and just sort of says, "Well, maybe I should." And around that time, Adrian, you're desperately trying to put these bullets, like one bullet at a time, like back
There's
into
just
the
so many of them.
There's so many of them.
More every 2 minutes.
And if anybody comes back here, they gonna see me on the floor again. It's just
God, just like scrambling around, picking up bullets. You notice that on the tin and etched on each bullet itself is the name of the manufacturer, which is Hero.
Oh.
Hero bullets. And on the tin is like a painting of a man similar to yourself, right? A kind of like a average looking man with like dark skin and dreads. But he looks very heroic. He's got like a gun that looks similar to the gun you have, like pointed at a bandit who looks very similar to El Caballo, right? And like a bang graphic, right? And there's like on the back of the tin, maybe because you're like fumbling around, the tin flips over. You see like everyone loves a hero.
I feel like everything's been talking about heroes and stuff today, and I'm going in El Camino, whatever came here. It was real sweet to me. And the sheriff doesn't know what's going on. Lord, do you want me to murder a man?
Artemisia
Melchior's just like, yeah, Artemisia, what you gonna say?
Well, there's a difference between murder and defense. And at that point, from the front, you don't see this, Adrian, but you hear it. You hear the doors bang open as like the town clock goes off, gung, 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 for noon. The door bangs open, people start screaming, and you hear like one of El Caballo's lackeys say, "Put your hands up, put the money in the bags, put the money in the bags, or I'll fucking kill you and your kids." You know, just like shouting, right, and like being intimidating.
This is the shortest king in the group. This is about like an individual who's like a 4'11".
They're 14-year-old. The person
They're 14.
like
It's fast. It's 14.
Yeah.
It's 14. Caballo comes in afterwards in a way that like there's suddenly smoke and the sun hitting at an angle it was not earlier. And 2 seconds ago, like the sun is at a position like it's 6 p.m. There's golden light all around it. The sun will go back to normal in a minute. Melchior has messed up with the tides so horribly right now. There's going to be like 8 tsunamis tomorrow morning. But Melchior pulled the sun down to be more dramatic, and little bits of dust curl around El Caballo's silhouette as El Caballo comes in and says, "Now, what's your 14-year-old's name?"
Lil Randy.
Oh boy. Now, Lil Randy. No need to get. Randy.
I'm foaming at the mouth. Let me skin some bitches.
This is what's his name from the Wild Thornberries? Donnie.
As soon as skin some bitches was heard, Adrian's gonna like be full ass on the ground and scuttle behind the walls. I ain't trying to get skinned, Lord.
Yeah, you see your coworkers, like, I think from around the wall, you could see, like, the back teller area and, like, kind of in, like, the near distance, like, the tellers themselves, right, the accountants, they're all screaming, they've hit the ground, right, El Caballo and the Wild Herd, they've come in, there's, like, 7 or 8 dudes, right, they've all got, like, they all have, like, a shotgun, they have a rifle, they've got, like, knives out, swords, you know, they're pointing, they're all masked, they have bags, and, like, tellers are desperately, like, with the cashiers are just throwing money in the bags, right, as El Caballo's looking around, scolding Lil Randy.
Don't take the town's money, or they're gonna skin people. I hope they don't skin Jack. I mean, they can skin Nancy a little bit.
Melchior is just like absolutely laughing their ass off. They are having a gay old time. Speaking of gay. El Caballo himself is looking around, much so calm, as if the robbery's not even happening. And pats like one of the men on the back. This is a very tall, dark-skinned man, and just goes, "My love, you hold down the fort. Can you keep Randy from skinning someone for, again, no watch, 3 minutes? Time is a feeling to him. It's just, can you keep him from skinning somebody for about 3 minutes at least? I would like to get out of here without all that mess. Cleanup is horrible. Always gets in his teeth.
Of course, Jack. And this tall,
It's in
dark,
his
handsome
teeth.
individual. His teeth, yeah. Takes out a stopwatch from inside his vest and clicks it for 3 minutes. Right? And it starts to go down. And this tall, dark, handsome man is holding the barrel of a shotgun and just waving it around. And people are screaming right as the shotgun goes over their head. And he's just going, now, you all heard El Caballo. If none of you make any sudden movements or resist, you'll all get out with your lives intact.
And El Caballo walks up to the teller, just ignoring Nancy. It sends a little wink to Jax, who about passes out, really. My little interesting buddy. Where you at?
Did he call anybody else interested? There's no way for me to know.
And then describes you to a T.
Oh, that is definitely...
Buddy.
Okay. Adrian's gonna take the bulletin, open up the 420 security box, and nervously put bullets in the gun.
Nice,
Buddy.
nice.
You
Follow
coming?
all the
Or do I have to come to you?
Oh no! But I'm on my way. Please don't come here. I'm coming out. Don't nobody skin nobody, please. I don't want to be in nobody's teeth.
Uncle Leo's just leaning on the counter, gun not dressed, just chilling, and it's just like as if we were waiting for a friend, just sitting there oh, hey there, partner.
Hey, y'all.
How's it going?
It's been a day. It's been a long day. Hey, can I ask you something strange?
Oh, you can ask me whatever you want. Interesting guy like yourself.
He's gonna take the ammo box, show it to does that look like me and you?
I mean, I'd like to think I'm a little bit more handsome than that, but I guess I could be humble. Points to the you and goes, I guess I could look like that if I tried real hard. I think I could. If I let my hair grow out, I think I could look like that.
Oh, you. Oh, okay.
Two fingers just push the ammo box aside and goes, look, we're about to be down a man, probably just because, it happens. And frankly, Randy's getting on my nerves. We're not a skinning people bunch. I don't really know where we picked up Randy. I think he's somebody's feral nephew. Man, favoring nephews has really got to stop. That is just, I like to call it nephewtism. I don't know.
That's what I like to call it.
No way.
I was just
Get out of town.
I was talking to the sheriff before. I'm not good at colloquialisms like Nancy. I messed up one of her phrasing. I said shooting fish in a bucket, and that's pretty stupid. It's
Shooting fish in a bucket makes sense. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, look, that's what we do at the fair. You shoot shit in a bucket. It's not the hardest thing in the world. Can't do that. What the hell skills you got? Boy, this accent's killing me.
I'm gonna just look at Nancy while this is going on.
Nancy is preoccupied because one of the wild herd is currently robbing her at gunpoint and is grabbing the jewels off. She's going, please, this was my late mother's necklace. It's all I have of her left. Please, her ashes are imbued in the gem. Please. Oh,
Ew.
please, God.
Oh, that's kind of gross.
Please, you can have anything else. Please, just the amulet.
Can't we let her keep the amulet, y'all? Look, I think I got maybe $2 in my wallet.
Oh, we don't want your money. No, what I was saying, that look, let her keep that weird necklace. You don't want to touch something with dead people on it. That is bad juju. Do not do that. Do not bring that into this group.
Oh, thank you. And if I may,
Please
don't rob us. This
My
bank
God.
is all we have. It's all the money in the town. Adrian knows this as well. I mean, the Continental Railroad made us rich, but this is all we've got. And if you rob us blind, Sprouts is over.
Oh, what
The
a
general
tragedy.
store,
Anyway, Adrian.
The saloon, all our
My God.
community will be over, and everyone.
I
think
will
everyone
let
starts
him
crying.
skin you, girl.
Everyone starts crying. People start wailing and sobbing because it's true.
Oh,
If they get
my
robbed, Sprouts
God.
is over.
This is the most emotional bank I have ever been in. My point, Adrian, is you seem like an interesting fella. I think you're funny. You're real clever. You know that?
yeah.
Here's the deal. If you want to come with us, you're going to have a lot more than $2. And you can replace Randy, who, frankly, I would like to leave here. He does not feel kosher. I think he's not really human. I think he might just be some sort of real naked dog.
I got an idea that I think might be able to protect Sprig and get y'all what you want, which is
Right.
money, right? Sprig, Sprug. I'm stressed out. There are people talking about scaring people, and I've been crying inside all day for the past 7 years. My gosh, darn life. You know what? You people don't treat me right, like you said.
Okay.
You people don't treat me right. I come in here every dang day and I work real hard, and y'all just make fun of me. Fish in a bucket makes sense, and you know it does. And I told y'all about Hemlock and them. Don't nobody come to see my cat, and you say that everybody's got a thing, and your thing is you got a dog. Well, I've got a cat. That should be my thing, but nobody ever considered it. And Hemlock is the most adorable orange tabby in the world, and nobody ever came to say hi.
Adrian, at the very end, without even giving you a real breath to pause of your outburst, where you're finally standing up to the doldrums of the everyday and being walked over and looked over, the door bangs open.
Oh, Lord.
And in comes the sheriff himself.
Lord.
And he's going, whoa, and like in slow-mo, he's like going for his gun. And like, I think at this point, like 10 like of El Caballo's guys turn around, right? To like go for their guns as well. And we see El Caballo, I mean, reflexively, because he's gonna get shot at, also
Yep.
go for his revolver and start to like point it at the sheriff. And this is your moment, Adrian.
Oh,
It's like
Lord.
you're seeing this in bullet time. Who are you gonna shoot? The sheriff or El Caballo?
I think he's going to shoot into the air and go, everybody freeze!
Nice.
Did not think beyond this point, but y'all are gonna listen to me today.
You know, I love cats. Did you say hemlock?
Yeah,
Ain't
it's
that
my
a plant? That is so nice.
I've been trying to learn gardening. Yeah, listen, I'm not gonna let you shoot the sweet man.
Adrian, right? He's trying to rob our town blind. If he gets out of here with all the goods in this vault, it's not just the rest of us that's gonna die off and get poor. It's you too.
My God.
I'm not gonna let him rob this bank either.
Huh?
Now what we fixing to do is you ain't got a deputy. And the way I figure it, this man here can shoot the lights out of everybody in here in a second. So you're gonna hire him as your deputy. I don't give a shit if he's not your nephew. And you're gonna pay him a fair wage. That wage you told me was fantastic. And you gonna tell it to him now. You get your pick of horse. It's horse, not the other thing.
Oh, I'm good. I'm married. And like points to the other like
The tall,
the
handsome
tall,
guy?
dark,
Yeah,
tall,
yeah.
dark, and handsome over there. I'm married.
You're married?
Yeah, it was in the spring. It was last year, man. You should have seen them flowers blooming down in Texas.
Well, Adrian, we're not opposed to the idea.
Thing?
Yeah, it could be.
I mean, if you,
We have room for a traveling deputy. El Caballo. That's a fantastic idea, Adrian. If you wanted to take on the role of traveling deputy, we could give you a cut of your salary today. Not the whole vault, but a cut of your salary if you just mosey on along. Is that what you're implying, Adrian? That's a real smart idea, actually.
Actually, I kind of want to stay here. You're pretty interesting, and not to me, you're a little cute.
I mean, you're cute. I mean, you're handsome. I mean,
What the
I know.
goddamn hell's happening here?
No, and I'm very confused.
Okay. El Caballo, And the Wild Herd will hire you. You can stay in Sprouts as long as you want. We'll even shelter you from the law if you don't rob us blind.
How about I rob you a little bit? Just for old time's sake, just one last time.
Little bit, just a little.
Okay,
Just,
you
just you know, like one. Let's have one cashier. Can you open one cash register? Is that what they're called? The machines with some money at the front where you just
Yes,
give
the
a little
registers.
bit.
The registers.
The registers.
Can I
yeah,
get
that-
it? Yeah.
Oh, okay. I forgot. What?
Can you get it for me, sweetie? And like looks at like Adrian. I just think it would be special.
all right.
Little bonding.
All right. I'm now. Don't nobody go doing nothing stupid.
Oh, nobody's gonna shoot you, and like is now covering you.
All right. He puts the gun in his pocket and goes to get the money.
There is exactly $149 in this register
That is a lot of money
for that
Okay.
time. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and like, so if you give that to Tokobayo, which is taking you like, you know, and takes like 40, puts it in your pocket and goes, the rest of the 100 will go towards our first date. My partner's he's very fancy. He's from, Louisiana. He's a real fancy. He knows how to make the nicest dishes you would not believe.
Have you had
I would-
gumbo before?
I've never had gumbo. I mainly just eat potato and bread.
Well, you'll love it.
I
Jack,
need to not eat potato anymore.
3 minutes is up.
Oh, hey, can somebody restrain and like points the gun at like Randy? You can take him. I think you're gonna have to put him in some sort of.
You'll never find
I
me.
don't know.
You'll never skin me. And Randy like crashes through a window. Naked, his clothes fall off as he crashes through a window.
Kool-Aid Man.
Sheds all his clothes, falls to the ground, and rolls away. Out of Sprouts.
Well, problem solved. I gotta deal with that no more. Thank God. He was so weird. Where did we pick him
What
up?
was that? Like a muskrat or something? Talking. What was that?
I think that was a Tasmanian devil. I don't know.
Someone should make a moving picture about one of those things. I bet it'd sell out real fast. Well, anyway, I'm still a sheriff here. You've got your cut. Will you please let us go?
I will let you go. I have successfully robbed this bank a little bit, and I got a hot date. Got my
Yeah.
forever hot date,
Yes,
and
sir.
got rid of that, animal. Frankly, little redheaded fuck over there. Nah, I'm good. Thank you. So yeah, let's discuss my salary. I am not a cheap man.
All right. Why don't we mosey on down to my office and let's go back to business as usual here in the bank, eh?
Yeah, right. This is your gun for your deputy.
Why
I'm
didn't
sorry.
you put it in the safety deposit box like I asked you to?
Well, I tried, but I dropped a lot of bullets, and I had to pick up. I had
You
to
know
pick
what,
up the
Adrian?
bullets.
It's fine. I'm glad you had the gun, because without it, we wouldn't have come to our senses. I suppose Sprouts has really overlooked a growing sprout here. I'll make sure that doesn't happen again. My deepest apologies for not realizing your worth earlier. Until now, in this time of need, you've proven it to all of us.
Y'all all
So
seem like
confusing.
good fellas. So I just wanted to make sure everybody gathered their senses and just talked it out. Because sometimes using a lot of words to make sure your thoughts are thorough and thought out is the appropriate way to handle a situation.
Wow, I had no idea that your long rambles would actually save the day. I'm sorry, Adrian. Will you accept my apology for bullying you for the past 7 years?
From the back comes from Jack's. They still robbed us,
Well, it was only one register, and they're coming to stay. Well, the Wild Herd will be a member of our community, which is different from someone just passing through, taking our money, and leaving. At least the money will circulate back into our economy.
Oh boy.
And I'm pretty sure we've at least got $140 insured, so we should be all right.
Well, all right, that's enough chit-chatting. Come on, El Caballo and your Wild Herd. Let's work out the details of your salary. We've got insurance.
Melchior is so confused because it's just staring
Yeah,
at Artemisia like
Artemisia is also there. Like, as the Wild Herd and El Caballo leave, right? Like, the tall drink of water, like, turns around and winks at you, Adrian, your metamor, right? Like winks at you, and like you all leave, right? Like all of them leave, and the bank, like people in the bank, like slowly start getting up and like brushing themselves off and whispering about what's happened. Everyone's looking at you, Adrian. They're not quite sure if they should look at you as a hero or as a traitor or both, or like maybe someone who just has some goddamn common sense at the end of the day. But a couple of people come up to you and thank you. You know what I mean? Like they look at you for the first time in 7 years.
I'm gonna look at my boss and go, and pardon my language, but dog it, I want a fucking promotion.
Mr. Narfunkel, that's what the N stands for, has been holed up in his office this entire time, staring through like a little porthole like window. He opens it up. He's the shortest man alive. He's like 3 foot even, right? He's got like this like huge bushy black beard. He looks over. He's got like a big tall hat that's like another foot tall, sort of like the guy in Looney Tunes. You know what I mean? Like a big, the big tall
Elmer
hat.
Fudd?
Elmer Fudd. Yeah. He like not Elmer Fudd. The
Yosemite Sam.
Yosemite Sam.
Yosemite Sam, exactly. Opens up the door and says, yeah, of course, Adrian. Thanks so much for saving our skins here.
That's right. Don't y'all forget it.
Everybody, sorry, finish your big speech.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and if anybody wants to come visit Hemlock, he's a real sweet cat.
Everyone's just sort of like, I've got plans. Someone's like, I'm allergic to cats. Like they start making excuses.
That's okay.
My dog has separation anxiety. I can't leave him. Apart from the fact that you are leaving him right now.
Mr. Narfunkel just says, everybody, let's give a big round of applause to our new assistant manager.
All I've wanted for the past 5 years.
I would like it if the applause canonically was at this level of loudness.
Was this loud?
It's literally just
the entire applause.
That's.
And we pan across you getting applauded, like very lukewarmly, right? But like still holding that revolver, feeling kind of badass. We pan over to where Artemisia and Melchior are. Artemisia looks at you, her brow is furrowed. That didn't go exactly how I thought it was going to go.
It did not. Technically, he did both.
And neither.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't think we can take this one. I don't know. Either we both take half or we can't take it at all. But
no,
maybe
we can't go halvesies. That'll tear the poor man apart.
I guess the order just tear apart. My God.
Well, I guess the order just doesn't get this one. This one belongs to him until the end.
Weird, but all right. I mean, it's happened before. Sorry, it's so weird to get out of that weird little voice. They talk so funny down here.
They do. They do.
Maybe we should contemplate together what we're going to tell the order. They don't, I suppose, have to even know about this one.
Yeah, I'll make sure. I'll make sure this one gets lost in the shuffle of paperwork.
I lose paperwork every day, so.
All right.
I don't think Beelzebub will notice. I'm pretty good at distracting him anyway.
And I don't think Michael will notice either. All right.
Like the West?
Well, it's chaotic, and I'm pretty sure that Lil Randy is a Nephilim. One of yours.
I'm pretty sure he's in the Antichrist, which frankly puts him firmly between us, but
Oh, yeah, well, that's true.
I mean, look, a Nephilim, I didn't make him, so.
I wasn't aware of his existence until now. I will have to hunt him down. The second coming isn't meant to come for millennia. I will tie up business here on Heaven's End, and I suppose you have some business on Hell's End to tie up here as well,
Probably will be here for another couple hours. And after that, I will maybe be in, I don't know, I was thinking Paris in the 20s. There's this cafe that does this. They invented this angel food cake, and I know what it's, I know, don't even. It's so unpleasantly sticky and sweet. I like it.
She pushes off against the wall next to you, turns to look at you, like her hands like in the pockets of her trousers, towering over you a little bit, cocks her head to the side and says, Paris. There's a perfectly fine saloon just across the street here.
I guess I could just teleport that cake over here.
I hear the beds are quite comfortable.
I think we could have some business to tie up for a little bit.
Well, if the Order isn't going to know about what happens here, then what happens in Sprouts, California in 1866 stays in Sprouts, California 1866,
You are so cheesy, but is also like already leading the way out. To
Yeah,
the
yeah.
saloon.
Art Amnesia
You get like a
also
little
leaves-
hand pulling on the vest behind you. Or
Yep.
behind me, I guess.
Yep. And on these two just deciding that this one doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
Adrian-
Nobody won. Amazing.
This has never happened
Nobody
before.
won. No.
Uh, Adrian, what's the final image in the bank?
It's just gonna, after all of that, everybody's returning to work. There's like an hour of silence. And the last thing Adrian's gonna say is, and God damn it, fish in a bucket makes sense.
And on that, we end session 4 of the Angel You Know. Wow. Wow, Noir. I have been one of your 2 GMs, Connie, pronounced they, he, she. You can find me on Twitter and TikTok at ByConnieChang. That's ByConniechang. I'm going to pass along outro textures over here to Brandy.
Hi, everybody. I am Brandy Rose. I have been your devil Melchior. My pronouns are they, them. I am an Indigenous and Latina TTRPG performer, game dev, and talk show, as well as game show host. You can find all of my podcasts at Patoot Podcasts on Twitter. You can find me at the Brandy Rose. I also very frequently work with Roll, like, for example, on my new talk show, where the wonderful Noir is actually my editor at We Roll With It. The Roll With It show. It will be on Twitch, either is already airing by the time this comes out or will be airing imminently. I think will already be airing, but make sure to check out the Brandy Rose on Twitter to stay up to date with all of my game designs. By the time this comes out, I will also have several new games out, including a very large TTRPG original called I Spy. So if you've ever wanted to be a Charlie's Angel, or if you've ever wanted to be James Bond, you should check it out. And then Noir, our wonderful mortal who just took that for us.
Wild West
please,
indeed. Wow.
who are you? Where can we find you? You know, all the words that are not coming out of my mouth anymore.
Hello, everybody. I'm Noir. I played your cosmic fuck up Adrian Norris today. Yeah, you can find me every Saturday on Morning Ritual, where I host a show with my partner, where we interview all sorts of wonderful people from the TTRPG community. It is my passion project, and I super duper duper love it. I produce for Rivals of Waterdeep, but I believe we are on break right about now. And also, I am a game designer. I'll be working on a project with HTT Paladin. Can't tell too much about it, but I can say that if you like tarot cards, you will be interested in this project. So keep an eye on my Twitter. Yeah, this was a blast. This is by far one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, Adrian. I love Adrian. He's such a fuck up.
Me too.
Oh, Nor, I
I
have
can't
to know.
believe the most mid character is the one that
Mid
did
right?
all of that.
I know, it's because he can't even choose good or evil, right? He's in the middle. I love it. I love them so much. Nor, I have to know, what do you think our hidden objectives were? I feel like they're pretty obvious, but I want to hear from you.
Okay, yes, I am pretty sure killing the bandit leader was one of the objectives, and I think joining the gang was the other objective. And if Jack didn't exist, he probably would have just robbed the bank. But Jack showed that measure of kindness where it was just like, we can't screw over everybody. There's some good people in this town. So, but I can't kill this nice gang leader. He's hot. And he's nice to me. So yeah, that's where he was stuck. That was
close. Very close to our objectives. I mean, what is my wording of mine? I think I said I wanted you to help the robbers, which you did.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Mhm.
What was yours, Connie?
Be a hero and save the day. And you kind of did both. You like stopped the rob. So you kind of did both. So like neither of us, like, we both won, but we also both lost.
Yeah. Amazing. I didn't even think about the possibility of that narratively happening because our objectives are usually
Diametrically
they are
opposed. They're
diametrically
usually
opposed.
like
So like they are mutually exclusive. But you just went no. And it's like this or that. No. Huh?
Just in case anybody wasn't sure, Adrian's bisexual and we don't make
Whoa.
choices.
and polyamorous. Oh.
Yes, that's right. Gang.
Oh, wow. That was amazing.
Oh,
Well, thank
boy.
you everyone so much for tuning in to this chaotic Wild West session of the Angel You Know. Tune in next time for episode 5 of the miniseries. We are at the over the halfway point with this episode, basically, for our miniseries. Who's gonna win the ultimate showdown? We are currently, this is 0. So Artemisia has 2 and Melchior has 1. So it's neck and neck, and this is anyone's game. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to tune in to Transplanar Saturdays on this channel, 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Check out Noir and Brandy on social media. Give them a follow, toss them money, and we will see you next time. Goodbye, and
Bye.
raid the cool people that we're raiding.
Do it.